to my channel. Today is Wednesday, June the 3rd, and I am back for something that I haven't done in a very long time, which is a Flosstube video. Yay! But you probably already knew that looking at the title. So, I hope I remember how to do this. It's been a minute. It's been a good minute. So, I've only been officially back stitching regularly for about a week, maybe about 2 weeks. So, I've been mostly stitching at work. I've stitched a little bit at home, but mostly at work. And, I think I've got a pretty good, decent amount of progress on stuff. So, I will show you what I've been up to the last couple of weeks. I have haul, but it's fabric, some magazines that y'all probably have already seen, and some cross-stitch books that I saved from the thrift store. So, let me just dive right in, because I have a few projects to show you. It's not like one or two, it's a few. To kick off what I've been working on, what happened was, let me update you guys a little bit. If you haven't been watching my diamond painting videos, my whip and chats, back at the end of May, was it May? No, back at the end of April, sorry. Back at the end of April, I started back working at my old company that I was with when I was in Georgia. Don't worry, I'm still in South Carolina. I haven't moved back to Georgia. But I'm back with that company. And for a while, I was just kind of helping out at the home office. And then I was under the impression that he was going to be opening up a store in Greenville, South Carolina. And he's kind of short on help. So he came to me a week later and said that he wasn't going to be able to do the Greenville store and wanted to know if I would move to Charleston, South Carolina to take over one of the stores there, because the guy there was wanting to leave the company. And really wasn't thrilled with that idea, because Charleston is about 3 hours away from where I'm at now. Greenville was only a little over an hour, so that wasn't too big of a deal. And so I kind of never really said anything to him, like yes or no, that I was going to move. And so finally, I had been helping out a couple of days a week at a local store. Literally, it's a store in the same city as the home office. It's about 5 to 8 minutes away from the home office. So I helped out a couple of days a week there, like Fridays and Saturdays, because the guy didn't have any help. He didn't have any employees working for him. And so the boss came in one day while I was helping out at the other store and talked to the guy and kind of convinced him to enter into a partnership of sorts and take over, kind of move to Charleston and kind of assume responsibility for those stores, because there's actually 2 stores in that city. And the guy that was at the Charleston store, the one that had been wanting to leave, he actually was going to move to the Greenville store that was going to be opened for him, because apparently he has a house and his family lives in that area. It's Greenville and Spartanburg always kind of get lumped in together because they're 2 big cities right next to each other. Sorry, my thing's sliding here. They're 2 big cities that are kind of lumped in right next to each other. And so he has a house in Spartanburg, so he was going to go and take over the Greenville store when that opened. So I was asked, before all this was said and done, I was asked if I would be opposed to taking over that store, the store that I was helping out at. And I said, no, that's fine. I can do that, because I actually used to run that store. I ran that store for about 8 months back in 2013. So it's kind of just stepping back into my manager position at that store. And so since I'm back working these long hours at the store, and most of the time it's kind of slow during the weeks, and so I have a lot of time to myself that I could get some stitching done. So that's what I've been doing. And one day, a couple weeks ago, I was sitting there bored out of my mind, because all I had been doing was like playing on my phone and stuff, and you know, I don't want to try getting too much into watching videos and stuff like that. I will watch Flosstube. I will watch like YouTube videos and stuff, but I don't like watching movies and TV shows and stuff at work, because like I start trying to get into them, and then I can't keep up with them, or I get irritated when somebody comes in and interrupts me. So I just kind of I've been watching Flosstube again, and but I was sitting there one day, and I was saying to myself, and I messaged my roommate, and I told him, God, what I wouldn't give to have a cross stitch project with me right now. And he just was like, well, you know, tomorrow take you a project with you and work on it. So that's what I did. And the first project that I worked on, see, all that to lead into one thing. The first project that I worked on was kind of I don't know if I have the pattern. There it is. This is kind of the pattern, but it's kind of not. You can't really see it from back here. This is, it's called Watery Tart, and it's designed by Dinah Jansen, and it's from an Etsy shop called CrafterDark. So, if you want the pattern, go to Etsy, look up the shop called CrafterDark, with a shop named CrafterDark, all one word, obviously, because that's how Etsy is. And I got a decent amount of progress on this. I worked on this for a few days at work. And this is what I got on it. This is my progress on it. Sorry for the wrinkles. It's my own hand-dyed fabric, and it gets wrinkly. This is my progress on it. It would be better if I show it back here. When I first had done this, last time you saw this, I had a couple lines of text here, and then like up to about from on this side over here up to about maybe about here-ish. So I did all that at the top, and all this right here. So this is on my Year of Whips, and I will forewarn you, a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be showing today, a lot of stuff that I am going to be working on is in the Year of Whips, because I dropped the ball for 6 months. So I'm still trying to work on my Year of Whips stuff. And no, I didn't work on anything in May, because if you remember, I was off the wagon for cross stitching in May. So, but now I'm back on. I'm trying to at least make up some kind of progress on my Year of Whip stuff. Maybe I'll try to do the Whip Mania again next year. We'll see. I didn't start anything this year, and I don't plan on starting anything this year. I'm going to wait and show this later, because this is kind of an at-home project. Then, this may or may not be in any kind of order. Then I worked on my Crabby All Year series. This is one of the leaflets. This is the one that I'm currently in. And this is by Raise the Roof Designs. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned the fabric for the Watery Tart. I think I said that it's a fabric that I dyed myself, but it's a 18 count Ada. If it was a 16, it shrank down to an 18, so it's about the size of an 18 count. So this is the progress that I got on this one. Last time you saw this, I believe, I was over here in this block, and I hadn't quite finished the tax form, and I still needed to do the pencil. I don't remember if I had this block finished or not, but I knew I had to do the pencil and the question marks and all that stuff. Well, I have since finished the May block, which is rabbits. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Oh, he's got a line. He's got a fold right there. He's got kind of a cute face. And there is a mistake in here. His neck is a little short because I couldn't mark off the pattern because I was working off the original and I didn't want to mark off the pattern, and because I never really did get around to making a working copy. His neck is a little short because I missed a row, and I didn't realize it until I was putting in the black of his nose, and I just kind of fudged it. So that's where he's at right now. And I did my first lazy daisies, and that's going to be that carrot that's in the sign right there. And like where the lettuce, the carrot leaves are sticking out of his mouth right there, those are 2 lazy daisies right there. My first lazy daisies. I had to look up how to do them. So, that's going to be the progress on this one so far. I am definitely going to try to work on this as much as I possibly can, because I still have 7 more months to do. Ideally, I would like to get caught up, at least to the month that I'm in, before I can kind of rest a little easy and not have to worry so much about it. But this, because I started with just an empty block at work, and it took me about a little over 2 days. So 2 full days and maybe a little bit of a third day. Depends on the amount of traffic coming in and out of the store. So I could probably get caught up. I would still have June to do, and then I can get July's done and then be caught up. So I don't know. I don't want to make myself sick of this, but I will get caught up eventually to whatever month I'm having to be in at that particular time. So that's what I got done on this one. And this is on a 32 count Belfast in Ale by Picture This Plus, and it's coming up actually a good color. So I like that. That's a piece that gets worked on whenever I feel like it. But I'll probably pick it back up. Maybe next week. I don't know if I'm going to work on it next week, but I'll definitely pick it back up here next week or the week after. And then try to get June's done. The only thing is, I'm not putting in... Why do I keep picking that up? I'm not putting in any of the buttons in until the very end, because I don't want them to try to get caught on a Q-snap or anything like that. There's long stitches in that tax form. Those will also get done at the very end, because they're not just regular back stitching, they're just long strands of floss, and they could very well get caught on something, and I don't want that to happen either. So, trying to see what we've done here. Another project I worked on is the Spring House by Brooks Books. This is a freebie that you can find on Craftsy. I believe it's still on Craftsy. I haven't checked today, but I believe you can still find it on Craftsy. If not, let me know. I mean, I may not be able to do anything about it, but I'd just like to know. I had worked on this at home one or two nights. You know what? It's still in the Q-snap. Hold on. I leave stuff on the Q-snap until I'm certain that I'm done working on it. I had worked on this like 1 or 2 nights at home for an hour or so each time. And then I decided to take it to work one day. And the day that I took it to work, I forgot the dark yellow that I had been working on at home. I forgot to take that with me. But there's my progress on it. And the last time you saw this, when I first started it, I literally only had, where is it? This, I didn't even have this whole line done yet. I had most of it done, like on the side, and then a few stitches done on the side, and it was just like half some stitches right there. I hadn't even done the whole line. It's the last time you saw this, and I've done all that. Sorry, let me move my mama's family. So that's what I've done on that one. I got kind of sick of yellow because the house is yellow. So, and this one, it's just on kind of a light blue. It's a 14 count Aida, but I don't know like the dyer or anything like that, or the specific color name if it has one, because I got it from I got it out of the Stitchy Carousel box back in 2017 because I wasn't able to participate last year because I was moving. About the time I would have gotten the Stitchy Carousel package, I was moving. So I pulled out of it. But I just got this that was in the Stitchy Carousel box. I don't know who the dyer is. I don't know what the name is. So, but it's a 14 count Aida. That's all I do know. And it's like a light ice blue. It's soft though. It feels like the polyester Aida. So that might be what it is. So I'm going to leave this on the Q-snap. I may work on it tonight. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. And then I worked, just yesterday, I worked on this. This is, it's called Winchester, and it's by, fiddlesticksau on Etsy. I had initially started this a couple years ago, for my ex. And I had started it on the white MCG even weave. One guess how that went. I'll show you the progress I had made on the other one, but this is not my progress. This is the progress I had made on it. I didn't like the coverage. Well, I liked the coverage because I was having to do 3/2, and I don't like working with odd number strands. Anything more than 2 strands is too much. So, let me fold this back the way it is. So I restarted it. And this is my start, and I just worked on this yesterday, after I finished the May block in the Crabby all year. What I did, this is the center, obviously. And then I kind of went a different way. I started doing that black line that's inside the shield, that runs all the way around the shield. I went ahead and did that because I cannot stand having to fill in stitches that's in between other stitches. I hate doing that because they always look weird. They always look a lot different than the other stitches that are around it. And so I thought I would go ahead and do that black line first and then go back and fill in the gray. Because as you can see, it kind of jumps over the black. Like it's filled in the middle, and then you have another bit of gray around the outside edge. I love this so much more. I'm doing this for me this time. So this is for me. And this is being done. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the color. It's kind of a pale, sagey green color, mottled, obviously. This is 32 count Belfast in sterling by Picture This Plus. And you would think sterling would be gray, but it's more of a greenish color. So I do love this so much more. Just that color, and you can see from the size how big the shield is in the middle. So it's not going to be too big. It's going to be smaller than it would have been on that white. So this is a 32 count. And technically, even though that white said 28 count, we know MCG is never what they say they are. That was probably closer to like a 25 count. So I love this so much more. I can't stop saying that. So that is the progress. And I wish the colors showed up a lot better than they do, but can't help it. So I'm going to put this back in the bag, although I don't know why I'm going to put it back in the bag. And lastly, one that I was working on at home. I worked on it a little bit on my last day off, in the evening for a few hours, and not for the whole day. And then I may have picked it up on Sunday for an hour or so, I don't remember. But it is a Mirabilia Aphrodite Mermaid. Mirabilia, like, they really are like easy to stitch. They're intimidating when you look at them and how beautiful they are. And truth be told, I've never been much of a mermaid person. Mermaids, fairies, dragons, any of that stuff. But something in me, it just hit me one day that I wanted to stitch Aphrodite Mermaid. I liked that mermaid, and so I bought it. And then the thing is, I knew I was going to buy it, but then I saw fabric that was perfect for it. And let me take this off the Q-snap. I can put it back on the Q-snap, it's not a problem. Let me take this off the Q-snap so you can appreciate the fabric. And yes, I still have a string. Because I just love this fabric. Okay. So let me get the wrinkle. Try my best to get the wrinkles out here. Because it's kind of folded up. So and of course, you're not going to be able to see this. That is my progress and my fabric. It's like an ocean sea bottom. Ocean and sea, same thing. It's like the ocean's bottom with the fish and the coral and stuff like that. So I think this fabric is perfect to have Aphrodite coming up out of her little shell. So that is where she's at right now. Last time you saw this, I was only like here and up. I've done a lot more of this black down here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to come up around, and then there's a tiny bit of black on this side too. Not very much, but there's a tiny bit. So, and then I will start going back and filling in. And this, in case anybody's wondering, this is called Grace's Ocean. It's basically a fabric flare or Stitchery Express, whichever one you want to call it. But it's from Fabric Flare. Sorry. My needle minder was in the way of my fold. So I'm going to put this back in here for now, but I'm going to be putting that back on the Q-snap probably, if not tonight, it might be, I don't know what I'm going to work on tonight, because we're supposed to be going out to eat. So, hold on. Need to do a little cleanup here. So that's everything that I've worked on in the last couple of weeks. So it's a good bit, right? That's a good bit. A little bit here, a little bit there. And all the projects that I worked on, with the exception of Aphrodite Mermaid, all the projects that I worked on are actually in my year of whips. So I am trying to focus as much as possible on year of whips because I do still want to get a lot of stuff done. I want to get as much done as I possibly can get done in the 6 months that I have left in the year. So even though I kind of fell behind for 6 months. And if you're wondering what all is in my year of whips, I will try to put it in the little eye. I will try to link the video in the little eye up here. Otherwise, I will put it down in a description box along with all the information on the patterns that I have, the links to the Etsy shops that I got some of them from, all that good stuff. So, I got some fabric, and if you guys remember, I don't know if you remember from my last Flosstube video, I've been subscribed to it's like a monthly membership to, it's a fabric of the month, so to speak, of Picture This Plus fabric through Needlecraft Corner. And I've been subscribed. I was subscribed for the year before, last year, and I was subscribed to this year for a different kind of fabric. And I fell off of stitching for a while. And I kept getting the fabric like for a few months because I thought, well, maybe I will eventually get back to stitching. And then I finally called in May, at the beginning of May, and called them because I had tried emailing them and nothing ever seemed to get through. And I called them and told them that, you know, I wanted to cancel my membership to this fabric of the month thing. And at first she said that I would probably have to go ahead and, yeah, I would have to go ahead and get that month's. But I would probably end up having to go ahead and get June's as well, because they do the fabric like a couple months in advance. But that actually didn't happen. I actually didn't have to get June's because I never received an invoice for it, so I assumed that I didn't need to go ahead and get it. Or maybe they went ahead and just put it up for sale in their shop. I don't know. But it's nothing against them. I wasn't stitching at that point, and I didn't want to keep paying for something that I wasn't going to use, and that I wasn't sure if I was going to be using it in the coming future. I wasn't sure what I was going to do at that point. So I have 3 pieces of fabric. I still have March, April's, and May's, which I just picked up May's from my mom because it's been sitting over there. So this one, I'll go in order because I still have them in the envelopes. And it's kind of easy for me to tell which one's which because this one has the 4-leaf clover. So 4-leaf clover is March. Haven't really looked too much at these. This one, and my membership this year was for 16 count Aida, Crystal Aida. And I'm gonna go ahead and take them out of the pack. Just because. This one for March, I'll be, surprised, it's a green fabric. It's called Crystal Highland. And there seems to be a front and a back on this because one side is lighter than the other. This one is pretty. It's got greens and yellows. That's showing up pretty good. It's got like greens and yellows. It looks like some bluish tones in there. That's really pretty though. And it's crystal. You can kind of see it sparkle a little bit. So that was, and the little freebie that they sent. I was actually just thinking about these. The freebie that they sent is a 15-pack of, see if I can see a brand on this, Yarn Tree brand floss bags. It's a 15 pack with the ring. I was actually just thinking about this. I'm going to go back to my plan of putting all my floss in floss away bags. So I'll probably be ordering some of those. And then of course the little freebie patterns. So I love this. It's like a heart, but it's kind of shaped like a cupcake. It says "Life is Sweet," and that is from the Cricut collection. There's more freebies in there, but I don't want to show them all. I do know the Cricut collection ones that you can actually go to their website and get those freebies. So if you like it, you can go there. It may not be available like at all times. It may just be available for that month. So I don't know if you can get past ones. And then May. This one is Crystal Heartland. Yeah, Crystal Heartland. And this one is kind of a brownish, it's a kind of a brownish neutral, kind of similar to not Brash, whatever that other one is. I don't remember. It's a neutral. It's more tanned. It's coming up more yellow than it is, but it's a very it's a tan color. It's very that's good right there actually. Good. That's good right there. It's a tan color and you can see the sparkle. And then the little freebie they sent was a really tiny zipper tote. This might be good for like cross-stitching supplies maybe. I don't know. But that was what they sent with that. And I apologize if you hear the dog barking. My roommate went to go outside to feed the dogs outside, and the inside dog doesn't like it when people leave. And so there's some cute ones here. This one says Souvenir de France. And there's apparently a herringbone stitch in there, because I give a diagram of a herringbone stitch. That little Easter egg one is cute too. And that one is by Bent Creek. Dogs, dogs, dogs. And then finally, the one that I just picked up from my mom's house today is for May. And this one is a really, really, really pretty blue. It's a darker blue than Ariel. If you know what Ariel looks like, it's a little bit darker. A darker light blue, if that makes sense. So this is that one. And it does kind of have, I'm kind of looking at it. It's mostly, it has some lighter modeling in there. I'm trying to show it the way I showed that one. It's kind of hard, but it's, yeah. So it's a pretty color. It would be a good background for a fairy or something. I don't know. Something pretty. And then the little freebie that they sent with this one is a needle organizer. Sorry. Little needle organizer. And freebie patterns. I didn't really look at them. Oh yeah, I did. This one is kind of cute. This one is by Hand Blessings. It's called Sunflower at My Window. That one's kind of pretty. And I don't even really care for sunflowers like that. And this one is by Lilybet. Little tulip. That one's pretty. And that one actually has a couple of Mill Hill beads, some yellow Mill Hill beads. So that is the fabric. I got a lot to clean up tonight. Yep, I got a lot to clean up tonight. Then I got some magazines. You probably have already seen some of these. We got the June 2019 Just Cross Stitch, and I just recently, late last week, got the August edition. I'm not gonna do a whole flip through, but I will show you the back page that's in the magazine. I'm sorry for that barking dog. And then we have the December ornament preview. It's hard to believe we're thinking about ornaments already. Yeah, I got some stuff to clean up. And then I got a couple issues of, a couple issues of Cross Stitch Gold. We got the May-June edition. I'm sure you've probably already seen that. I'm not going to go through it. And then we have the July-August edition. And since that's the most recent, I will kind of go through. I will show you what abouts is in here. Got a pretty, and I think that's by Leslie Tier, if I'm not mistaken. Got that, I think. No, that's not it. Is it? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's in here. Yeah, because that's on page 12. And then the other side. Again with the sunflowers. So that's what's in that one. And then I got a couple of books. Lastly, I got a couple of books that I saved from the thrift store a couple months ago. So I've had these in my car for a couple of months because I wasn't really cross stitching, but I thought I should probably go ahead and save them anyway. So the first one I got was Seasons Remembered. This is by Leisure Arts. And there's a couple of the patterns that's in here. And then there's some more on the back. This book is in pristine condition, actually. Like, pristine condition. I told you this was by Leisure Arts, didn't I? Yes, I did. I'm not seeing a publication date. I don't think. I'm not seeing a publication date. Oh, 1994. Kind of show you some of the patterns that's in here. I don't want to mar this thing too much. This one. And these right here. We don't cross stitch on clothes anymore. That one. Because some people might still be interested in the scenes like this. I'm not really one of those people. This one might be pretty for some people. You can pause this and read that quote. Then you got, what is it? God Bless Our Home. That looks like that's on perforated paper. And then we have that. All the pictures are in the front, so that's why I'm kind of showing this to you. Those. That, yeah. There's that scene. Here's some spring stuff. It says welcome spring. And then welcome spring. And then a little bird nest and whatever that is, and flowers. Oops. Good one. We got another scene and some flowers. That's kind of pretty to do on a quilt or blanket. Couple small designs there. And then another bird nest. There's a lot in here if anybody's interested. This one says cherish the child. Cherish our child. Cherish this child, sorry. One of those child. Cherish this child. Baby sampler. And then a couple more baby things. Here we get into our summer stitching. Kinda okay-ish. And then we have, there's some plant stake things there. Some towels. And then we've got a couple of these things here. A boat is kind of pretty, but I probably would never stitch it. And I'll hold that a little bit closer. If you want to pause and read that, you can. A wedding sampler. And then we have autumn. Good lord, there's a lot of patterns in here. I really didn't think there was that many. Kind of a fruit-ish. There's some little smalls with the fruit. Show them on bread cloths or jar toppers. A couple little cute little. These are kind of pretty, but again, probably would never stitch them. And one more page, I think. Yeah, last page. Some with the ducks, if anybody likes ducks. And then a couple bookmarks. And a pillow. So, that is everything that's in there. That's a lot of patterns. Again, I will probably never stitch this. If anybody's interested in this, please yell at me or just give a shout to me in the comments down below, and I will ship this off to you free of charge. So I just thought I would save it if anybody's interested. And then finally, I picked this up also at the same time. This is The Secret Garden in cross stitch. And I know this book has been talked about. I have looked through this book. It's probably another one that I may never stitch anything out of. It's not really too much into plants and stuff, but I saved it. I'll show you a few things. I'm not going to do another flip through. A couple of pillows with tulips. Hold on. I need to take this jacket off, or it's going to be a pain in the butt. And if anybody's interested, these patterns are all from Thea Governor, if you're a Thea Governor fan. Bulbs. This one is a daffodil, but I don't think it shows the whole thing. Shows a part of it. I'm not going to show. If it doesn't show the whole thing, I'm not going to show you. Gladioli. Wrong page. Gladioli. I'm not going to show every single little pattern that's in here. If you like bees, there's this one called Pear Blossom. And they picked out a couple of other motifs. Little piece of it and stitched it. Actually, no, I take that back. That is a whole separate motif, I think. Yes, that is a whole separate motif. Crocus. It's like I said, not showing everything. Rose basket. It's kind of pretty. There is a like a border right there that they show a piece of. That's pretty. Trying to get through this kind of fast. Kitchen herbs. Another pretty little border thing, cornflowers. Garden herbs. So we have kitchen herbs and garden herbs. Those look like weeds. Then our next section is wildflowers. We have the poppies, which I think is the one that's on the cover. Then we have wild pansies. And then meadow flowers. Oops. I'll get ahead of myself here. And honeysuckle. We get a lot of that in the south. And I think there's a September plum. And I think we're getting toward the end. Bilberries. Oops. And I think the last one we're going to have is apples. I think that's the last one. Yes, that's the last one. It talks about some techniques and different ways you can set your stitching up to work on it. This one I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm thinking that if I decide not to keep it, I think I might sell it. But I guess if anybody is interested in this, let me know, and I can probably send it to you. But I don't know if I want to keep it or not. So I'll think about that. Like, if anybody's more interested in it than I am, if anybody's more of a Thea Governor fan than I am, I'd be happy to send it to you. But Secret Gardening cross stitch. So that's pretty much going to be it for me today, guys. I am at almost 50 minutes. So there's really not much else to talk about. I'm still in South Carolina. I told you that I went back to my old job. Well, my old company. There's really not much going on right now. Really not much going on. I am probably going to be UFOing a couple of whips. Not ones that are in the year of whips, but a couple of my other projects, because when I got started back watching Flosstube, I was watching one of Jessie Marie's videos, and she talked about kind of cleaning out some of her whips, and she managed to pull out like a few. And I was looking through my whips on my spreadsheet with my whips on it, and I kind of zeroed in on a couple that I think I'm going to UFO, because I just don't see myself ever doing it. And I need to lighten my load as much as possible. So I'll probably be doing that. If I do that before I come back, then I will let you guys know how that goes. So I guess since that's everything that I have this time, I guess I will say sayonara. But before I go, please make sure to always be awesome to yourself and be awesome to each other. Bye.